Before I introduce the panel here for you guys, let's set the tone for Keto Talk and tell you a little bit about me and my story. I want you to imagine this, guys. You're 30 pounds overweight, you have bad anxiety, you have the worst panic attacks, and you go through therapy once a week for your depression. Fear is taking over your life at this point, and it's slowly, affecting your career, relationships around you, and it seems like life has no meaning, right? That was me a few years ago. The reason why I'm here is because of the ketogenic lifestyle. Most of us. I'm on a mission to help people transform their lives this year. And the people in front of you today also had to overcome their own major obstacle. They had to step in their fear in order to be with us today. So together, guys, let's give them a round of applause, guys. All right. So where's Anne? Okay. So to introduce our panel, guys, they sent me a little bio. So let's a little icebreaker for you guys. Let's start with Mark. So Mark here has been on a ketogenic diet for 5 years and lost over 100 pounds. That's amazing. Woo! He's also a girl dad. He has 2 little girls at home. And his favorite food is barbecue ribs. Let's give it up for Mark, guys. Kathy also has been on the ketogenic lifestyle for 5 years. Lost over 60 pounds. It's amazing. She enjoys life with family, scrapbooking, cooking all the things, right? Dreaming about how can I keto that. Amazing. Her motto is to be the best version of me, to wear a 2-piece bathing suit, and to be in all the pictures. I'm enough, I'm beautiful, I'm worth it. Let's give it up for Kathy, guys. Alright, we're missing a panel. Okay, sounds good. We'll move on. Okay. So Anne has been on keto for 4 years. She has lost over 90 pounds. She's been cancer-free for 9 years. She's committed to the keto lifestyle, walking, and meditating. Her motto, every day is a new day. Let's give it up for Anne right there. Alright. That's okay. So, a little icebreaker for you guys. Non-keto related. Alright? So, I'm gonna ask the question and we're gonna go around, pass the mic around. Alright, so the first question for you guys. If you could possess a superpower, what would it be and how would you use it? Mark?
Probably flying, just because I can fly around. Get out of Toronto traffic. We sat in for an hour yesterday to go 3 months.
That's good. Alright, Kathy?
Mine too would be teleporting, so I can get to my kids when I want to get, and then get here when I want to. My sisters, that would be what I would want.
Okay, Anne?
Very boring. I think I agree with both of them, because I feel like I spend way too much time in my car. All I do is commute, and it would be great to be able to get anywhere else.
Awesome. For me, it will be fire. So I can cook my steak at the palm of my hands. Right?
What's wrong with the stove?
That's my wife's idea, by the way. Alright, so another icebreaker for you guys. A little curated, right? So we'll pass around the mic. So, second question for you guys. Does your doctor know that you're on a ketogenic diet? If the answer is yes, how do they react? And if no, how do you think they would react? Let's go. Let's start with Anne.
So my doctor does not know, and she would not react well, because even when I tried to discuss low carb with her, she started talking to me about how unhealthy it is.
Okay.
My doctor does know, and she asked if she could use me as a poster child for it. And for, because I have kidney issues, she said that she told me when I went in that you have a decision to make. You can keep going the way you're going and die, or you can do something about it. So I jumped on the keto bandwagon. And my next appointment with her, she was like, oh my God, nobody ever listens to me, and yet you did. And she said that there was a doctor downstairs that did livers and stuff. They're on a keto diet, and they were very happy, and it's very successful. Even though so many doctors there are like, you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, my doctor does know. I didn't tell her until I'd already lost 40 pounds or so. First question from her is what the F is the keto diet. That's what she said. And once I explained it, she said that's basically what she eats anyway.
Yeah.
And she said she doesn't care what I do as long as my numbers go up. And I'm losing.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. Right on.
she was
Right on. That's a mixed reaction. So let's talk about the transformation now, guys, and what led them to, trying the ketogenic lifestyle. We all have different journeys to the keto lifestyle, right? And we come across keto in many different points of our lives, right? We see different ages here, see around you, and it's really not easy to make this change. So my first question is, right? Give us that backstory on how you came across keto. What did you think, and what has certainly caused that shift for you, and ultimately making this your lifestyle? Let's start with Mark.
That's a tough one. I think we discussed on your podcast once, and I actually don't remember how I found keto. I know I was doing Whole30 with some friends at work, which worked for a bit until it didn't. And then I found keto somewhere and thought, like, hey, let's give this a try. I don't know what day I started. I don't know where we learned about it. And a few of us at work tried it, and it just stuck for me. So for me, like I said last night, I am very much an abstainer and not a moderator. And keto helps me with that. I know there's things I cannot touch, and keeps my brain straight. So it makes it easy for me.
And what led you to creating this lifestyle and sticking to it?
Just the sort of ease of staying consistent for me. It was the food tasted good, and the community was a lot of fun. Meeting all these good people. Again, I just found it easy to stick to. We've all tried everything, all the other diets. This one for me just clicked.
Plus losing 100 pounds.
Yeah, 80 pounds in the first 8 months didn't hurt. Yeah, it was sort of bouncing.
That's
up.
amazing.
It was wild. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mark. Kathy?
My daughter actually introduced me to keto. Said, here, Mom, I think this would really work for you. Why don't you try? So I did, and I could eat chicken wings on a diet. I was like, okay. And then I could even have pizza and all the meat and cheeses that I wanted. I got the first hungry. So it was my daughter.
All the bacon? And then,
All the bacon, yes.
yeah. And what made you stick to it long term? It's been
The way
5
I
years for you.
feel. So the way I feel every day, just I don't go to bed feeling gross and bloated and
Yeah.
farty and everything. So it's just changed my muscles.
Yeah.
Not sore, my knees aren't as bad.
Yeah.
Stuff. So it was easy to do because it's such an easy thing to just grab and eat.
Yeah.
And you can make anything out of cauliflower.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. Anne?
So it was my husband that introduced me to it. I was about to have neurosurgery and was really worried I was going to die. I didn't get my act together, weight-wise and health-wise, for that surgery. So I started, about 6 months before the surgery, and I was doing well. I did better. I lost weight. I also lost weight. The mic cut off. So basically, I had a neurosurgery plan for about 5 months' time, and I was worried I was going to die on the operating table, and I thought I need to get my health back and my life back to not only prepare for the surgery and the long sort of anesthetic that I was going to be under, but also it was a year-long recovery, pretty intensive recovery. The way you got out of intensive care after that surgery was being able to walk assisted to the bathroom. So I that? Oh, closer? Very loud. So that was what got me started on keto, and I felt great, and keto worked really, really well for me until I hit menopause, and since then I've put on some of that weight, and I've sort of been struggling to try to figure out. I was vegetarian keto for my first 3 years on keto, and the last year or so I've tried to be a little bit more higher protein and reintroducing meals.
All right, awesome. So I want to talk to you guys about the biggest challenges that we face on the ketogenic diet, right? For me, when I started, I'm Filipino and it's rice for me, right? It's hard to get rid of that. And just because, we grew up with, eating rice all the time, and that was the biggest challenge for me. Because everything, our culture, it's attached to that, right? And when you're changing your diet, it's really, really hard to navigate this lifestyle. And thank God for sugar daddies, right? Keto Libre and Keto Cookie Co, right? And all our vendors out here that helps us actually keep a sustainable lifestyle. So my first question to you, Anne, is, if you go back to the early stages of your lifestyle, the ketogenic diet, what was your mindset at the time, and what was the biggest challenge for you to overcome?
I think I'm the kind of person that jumps into things and has to do it 100%. So if I deviate, then I deviate too much. It's sort of I'm an all or nothing person. So I think the biggest challenge was if I slipped up, getting back on right away. And I think the other thing is just living. I have 3 kids, so they weren't. They were teenagers and they had no interest in being keto. So their food in the house and in the past, oh, they didn't finish something, I'll just finish it and throwing it in the garbage. But the mindset of just it's better in the garbage than in my body.
Right. Thank you, Anne. Kathy?
I think the biggest challenge when I first started was the fact that because it was so long ago, keto was brand new. We couldn't go to the store and just pick up keto bread. We couldn't find all these great keto products that have now come out. So it was very limited. And if you wanted almond flour, it was trial and error. I was always trying to make something like the bagels and everything. Now it's so much easier because you could just go. But the chip chucks and potatoes and French fries, I can't keto that yet. To be like good old tin that we can get all the time. So that was a challenge. French fries.
There'll be a time.
There'll be a time.
Okay, yay. What was that, Mark?
I was saying Keto Daddy makes fries here that are delicious.
Oh,
they're amazing.
Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Mark?
They both stole both of my answers. So I was going to say the same thing. Back when we started 6 years ago, there was no Keto Daddies, there was no sugar daddies, no Keto Libre. If you didn't cook it, you didn't eat it. And being, cooking my own dinner and cooking for the rest of the family, I was cooking 3 or 4 different meals every night, and that was a challenge. Trying to stay on track when there was other food around and having to be the one cooking it. That was the biggest challenge. Yeah, and just tasting things, and very quickly, very quickly. And like Ann said, then I had half a plate of mashed potatoes. May as well just eat the rest of it because it's better than the garbage. Let's just keep going. So that was a challenge.
Yeah, no, keto is never easy in the beginning, right? Especially, the times that we navigate now, there's, in every corner there's a McDonald's.
Yeah.
And when you go to the grocery store,
You can buy keto products everywhere.
you got keto products in there, right? So, for our third question here for you guys. So, in a social setting, like a family gathering, right? You know where this is going. How do you handle occasions or events where non-keto food options are prevalent and staying committed to your goal? How do you stay committed while navigating that?
I got one better. My parents are vegan, gluten-free, nightshade-free, sugar-free. So there is, when we're doing carnivore, there's not a single food on the planet that crosses both parameters. So and I just got used to bringing my own food. Right? If they were cooking vegan food and I was doing carnivore or keto, I was bringing my own protein. Or if we were ordering out, I was ordering from somewhere else. For me, again, it was just a mindset of I'm either in or I'm out. And I knew if I went off track, at an event, that would be a week of getting back into keto because I'd be eating ice cream, bags of chips,
Thank you, Mark.
until I head back together.
Kathy?
Bringing my own food to family events or company events, something that I knew I could grab and eat really good. Most events include vegetables, so I could have that. Salad. Caesar salad is a big one.
Yeah.
Everybody has a Caesar salad on the table. So yeah, just trying to bring myself, if I were bringing dips or something, I would have a dip that I could easily grab and make sure I had celery or something, a little baggy. I didn't want to fall off that wagon.
All right, thank you, Kathy. And
I think what they both said, but I would also say eating before going to the event, so you're not at an event when you're hungry.
that's smart. So these events are never easy, right? They have to know that you're keto, right? They have to know because they're gonna ask, well, why you're not, you know? Sometimes those conversations are really hard, and sometimes you really have to sit down with them and say, hey, I'm on this journey, and I'm starting a healthy lifestyle, and sometimes you really have to, you know, just be honest with them, right? If you're struggling to navigate the lifestyle, you have to really tell them, just be honest, right?
In the beginning when I was keto too, it was almost like it was a disease or something, you know? They're like, oh, she's keto. Wait a second. It's not a bad thing. I just don't eat it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's a choice, right? Alright guys, so Mark, questions about misconception. What are some misconceptions or myths about the ketogenic diet that you'd like to clarify based on your personal experience?
I think my favorite one is that calories don't count when you're on keto, which people say a lot, and they obviously do count. Maybe not at the beginning when you're really getting yourself into that keto state. It's less important, but for sure later on, calories count. I think keto has some metabolic benefits, but at the end of the day, if you're eating 10,000 calories of steak every day, you're still not going to feel great. You're just going to pack on weight, not so much healthy weight. So that's a big one for me.
Thank you, Mark. Kathy?
I think people thinking that I eat cheese and bacon all day long.
Right.
You know, and, oh, you're just going to die because of all the fat.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case. I feel fantastic and the energy and everything, you know. So that was it for me. I don't eat bacon every day. I don't eat it 3 times a day.
Yeah, so that was just in the mainstream, that's what they think,
That's right.
right?
Keto is bacon and
Yeah, exactly. And you've lost 60 pounds, you've lost 100 pounds, you know, they see you doing well, eating bacon and cheese, so, yeah.
You know, every other diet out there just comes right back on. With the keto, I'm able to continue this lifestyle and be okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. And?
I think what Kathy and Mark said. I think just in general the misconception that keto is really unhealthy. You know that what you're doing is good for you. That there aren't therapeutic benefits of keto. I think there are a lot of misconceptions around that. That it's a fad diet, not sustainable.
Yeah.
All of those things that people say.
Yeah. Oh, it is sustainable. 5 years, 4 years, right? It is sustainable. You can build a lifestyle around the ketogenic diet. You just have to focus on what you can have, right? Stop focusing on what you can't have, but start focusing on what you can, right? If you start your diet with a restriction mindset, it's never gonna work. All right, guys, so our next question is, back to your journey. What has been the most rewarding aspect of adopting a ketogenic lifestyle? And
So I think I had cancer a while ago now, and I still do annual, 4 times a year, then twice a year, and once a year checks, and I think I don't feel as scared going into those, ultrasounds and checks that I have to get. So I think for me, that's the best.
awesome. Thank you, Anne. Kath?
I think just the way I feel, and that I was happier. I was a happier person with myself. So it changes the dynamics in the house. Buying clothes, I went from a size 22 to a 12, 14.
Right on.
And that is amazing for me.
Yes.
Because I can go into the store and just, oh, fit me
Feel good.
Right off the top.
You know, some people really forgot how to feel good, right? And then with a ketogenic diet, you get reminded. Like, people, common doesn't mean normal, right? Some diseases are common now, right? And that necessarily doesn't have to be that way. Thank you, Kathy. Mark?
I mean, I want to say being able to play with my kids and spend time and run around with my kids, but I'm sort of more petty than that. I don't want to be the evil one up here. I love people that were the naysayers at the beginning and told me I was going to die and have a heart attack, who now come to me and ask me how they can start. That's one of the most rewarding things. It's petty, but I love it. And I've helped a bunch of them, get on board and lose weight and feel better. So
And
it's a win-win.
And it's an opportunity for you to change your mind.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely has to change your mind.
Yeah, that's why I say you got to be ready with, you got to study the ketogenic diet and how the ketogenic diet works, so that when somebody comes to you, you know what to tell them. Why is this working? Why are you losing so much weight, right? And why is fat not really bad for you, right? So, you got to be educate yourself about the ketogenic lifestyle, and that's how you create that why and reinforcing that why, so that this can be a sustainable lifestyle for you. For our last question, guys, okay? And I know, maybe some people here are watching and, maybe want to learn more how to sustain a ketogenic lifestyle for 5 years, 4 years to your end. What advice would you give to someone who is considering to start a ketogenic lifestyle? Mark?
I would say just start, because until you feel the benefits, you really don't understand what's going on, right? And give it at least a couple of weeks, if not a month, and just start, commit to it, stay consistent for that amount of time, and you'll feel better by the end of it. You won't want to stop.
You know what? I always say, if you haven't done keto for 3 or 4 months, don't say you tried it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't even say you tried it.
I mean, the first 2 weeks are terrible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Nobody can lie about that. It's terrible, sort of detoxing and getting yourself back into ketosis. But once you're there, you sort of
Once you're there, once you start feeling good, you don't have to talk them to it.
Yeah, they feel good.
Because they'll feel good, right?
Their body talks themselves into it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mark. Kathy.
I think don't make it complicated. Don't try to make all the crazy stuff that's out there that's keto. Make it simple.
Make it simple.
Yeah, don't attempt to make all that flour bread and everything.
Yeah.
Make a piece of lettuce. Make yourself a sandwich and eat it. It's good. Just keep it simple and don't give up.
Yeah, I love that. Keep it simple. As an influencer, sometimes you have to create for your audience, right, to help them out. But if you're not really on Instagram and you want to keep it sustainable, right, you have to really keep it simple on a daily basis. For me, I eat, a lot of eggs every morning, right, steak, right, pork loin, right, the same things. Right, you can go out to Sugar Daddies once in a while, right, to get some meal from Keto Librium. Thanks, Kathy. Anne, how about you?
I think I would just say to not spend a lot of money on store-bought processed products that say that they're keto, because just because it says it's keto, it's not necessarily keto. So read the labels, because you won't necessarily feel that much better if you're eating stuff that's like filled with gluten that says keto on it. It's not, try to do clean keto, I guess.
Okay. Awesome. All right. That was our last question, but I want you guys to plug your Instagram so that they can follow you, they connect with you, and start with you.
So you can find me at Toronto Keto on Instagram.
You can find me at Northern Keto Mama.
And you can find me at MacMyKeto on Instagram. And just before we finish, I want to call out my girlfriend back there who's not paying attention. But I told her Kelly I'd make her stand up, and she's lost a ton of weight. And I wanted to embarrass her because she doesn't.
All right, guys, that was it for Keto Talk for our very first Keto Fest. Let's give it up for our panelists.